Welcome to the Tea Huddle with Marisa and Kelly.
Your only source for gridiron gossip.
If you're interested in the personal lives of celebrities,
Or if you're interested in the NFL,
but mostly if you're interested in the personal lives of NFL players, this is the right podcast for you. So we had our little bi-week mini episode last week, and since our last full real episode, so much has happened, so many updates.
so much has happened.
So much to cover. I don't even think we're going to be able to get into all of the Travis and Taylor, which so much has happened with them since then, but we'll see, we'll see what timing allows. But before we start on all the gossip and all the off-field shenanigans, in the last 2 weeks, Kelly, bring us up to date on all the football happenings that we've missed.
Yeah, they were exciting 2 weeks that we have to update on right now. Starting with the Eagles and the Chiefs, they both get served 2 losses in week 13 and 14. Joe Flacco, he got his first win since God knows when. He said he feels like a 10-year-old kid out there. He is definitely not that age.
Man on the field.
He is. The Vikings and Raiders played one of the most incompetent games in history, going scoreless until the last 2 minutes of the game, with only one field goal scored between the two teams. And I watched a lot of boring games the past few weeks, and this takes the cake.
Wow. I wonder if they didn't score that field goal, do they go into overtime if it ends 0-0, I guess?
Yeah, just keep going until they score any points.
What losers.
And that has never happened, a 0-0 overtime. And it didn't happen this past.
But it came pretty close.
It came close. They were combined 16 punts and 4 turnovers. So
sounds
not
bad.
good football.
No.
Sean McDermott tried to motivate the Bills by using 9/11 terrorist references.
This was
really bad.
Really bad. The internet was really funny as a result, but just sometimes you have to wonder what goes on in people's minds.
Oh, man. And then the Patriots actually won a game.
There you go. They did it. You believed in
Not
them.
the 2 that I went to, but...
but at least they got one. We were going to do a whole thing on how bad the Patriots are, but there are a few things we got to say, even though they won.
Oh, God.
I've been handed a comprehensive list. Before this past week's win, they had a 2-9 record. They couldn't on a quarterback. They had scored. I feel like I'm torturing you.
Yeah, this is really hard for me.
I'm just kidding. They had scored 13 points in the past 4 weeks. There was a bye in there.
I was at 2 of those.
Jabril Peppers, that's how you say it?
Yeah, Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers came under fire for saying, "You lucky wee ass," to Saquon Barkley, and he had to explain himself.
There's not much to explain. I mean,
it's just such a funny way to phrase it. Like, you're lucky that we're not good. Like, otherwise we'd be winning. Yeah, well, you're not. Okay, anyways, sorry. Back to my list. They became the first team ever to get flexed out of the Monday Night Football slot.
This is the most shocking.
This one's confusing. So they were playing the Chiefs, which are Super Bowl champs, dating the most famous woman in the world. They were supposed to play Monday Night Football, which to my understanding is like you want eyeballs on that game.
Yeah,
you want
it's
it to be
usually
a good game.
A big game, hopefully an exciting one.
And then they announced, actually, we're going to demote them.
They're like,
Sunday.
It's not going to be a good game.
My theory is that maybe they knew Taylor couldn't make it.
Yeah, my theory is maybe she's available on Sunday and not Monday. Or she's not available at all, and they didn't want to.
Ooh, so we'll see this Sunday if she makes the flight to New England.
But probably they just know something that we don't know.
And then my favorite is that Amazon, so they put the visuals up of team on team, and they put like the big star player, and I forget what team they were playing against, but they put like the quarterback or the star of that team, and then they put Bill Belichick.
Just Belichick.
They were like, nobody on this team has enough name recognition.
Nobody. They're like, we don't know who the quarterback is. Neither do I. And Bill is the only one who's still around,
who is
every
gonna
week
get maybe people to watch this game.
Yeah, are you done yet?
One more. They were eliminated from the playoffs. So now if they keep losing, we can just assume the Pats are terrible. Kelly is pissed about it. We don't have to get into it. That can just be like a blanket assumption moving forward.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know if I want them to win at this point, because what good is that?
Yeah, right. Like, rest up, get a better draft pick.
Yeah, let's just
and
I mean, I love to see you win, so I'm just gonna leave.
You
it
got
with
one. That one you can hold on to
Yeah.
till next season.
And now that we got that over with,
yeah.
So the top story today is Patrick Mahomes' unsportsmanlike behavior and full meltdown after the Chiefs lost to the Bills on Sunday night.
He went full spiral.
Full spiral. Let me back up and just explain in
Paint
case
us a picture.
Anyone's been living under a rock and did not hear about this or see anything about this. Basically, what happened is the Chiefs were losing to the Bills with 1 minute left in the game, and Travis Kelce, he
America's
received
boyfriend.
a ball and then threw a lateral ball to Kadarius Toney, who ran it in for a touchdown, which was an incredible play
For the win.
for the win. And I thought like that was part of the play call, but I heard that Travis just saw the opportunity and threw the lateral ball, which is a crazy thing to do, and it worked. It was a beautiful spiral because he was a quarterback back in his day in college. But unfortunately for the Chiefs, touchdown did not count. Play was called back. There was a flag thrown for offsides because Toney stepped over the line of scrimmage.
The guy who caught it.
Yeah.
So in my football education this year, in case anybody's, learning along with me, so the team has to be lined up. They all have to be behind a line. And it's called, that line is called the line of scrimmage. And his foot was over the line.
Yeah, before they snapped the ball.
So the whole thing doesn't count because
I did see they threw the flag immediately when it happened. The play carried out. It's not like it was a late flag. I mean, Travis obviously didn't see it. He was in the zone.
He was in the zone.
But everyone was upset, especially Patrick Mahomes.
Throwing a helmet, screaming, looked like a little eyes watering up there.
Yeah, he was a complete monster, like a baby.
He did. It was a child's tantrum, is what it looked like.
Yeah, and at the end of the game, which really pissed me off, is when he and Josh are doing their what do you call it?
They're good games.
They're good games.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah. Well, he did not good game Josh. Patrick did not good game anybody.
So bratty.
Yeah, he just kept going on and on about like, that call was the worst call that ever could have been made. It was a bullshit call. And Josh is like, okay, dude.
Yeah, right. And Josh Allen goes in for the embrace, like to do the appropriate mature thing and be like, good game, way to go, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a stream of consciousness.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, that call was bullshit. That was the dumbest shit I ever saw in my life. Da, da, da. And Josh Allen is just like,
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
And then in comparison, Josh Allen went up to Travis Kelce, who was like very polite.
A real man.
Yeah. Just very good sportsmanship.
Taylor's dad would be pleased.
And so
to
would
see
Donna.
that. So would Donna, yes. Brittany Mahomes, Patrick's wife, was getting in on the shenanigans. She zoomed in on a ref from her box up in the stands and wrote MVP, which was a move that we talked about our very first episode.
Yes.
Kelly Stafford
would
go off of when she didn't like a call about how the refs are the real MVPs, like implying that the biggest assist to the other team was not by one of their players, but was by the refs.
Yeah, Brittany should have been aware of that. She got bad PR. Kelly got bad PR from that, so don't copy it.
No. And I didn't know anything about football during the last Super Bowl. I knew that the Chiefs won and that Travis Kelce had previously had a dating show. That was sort of where it came and went for me. So we've come so far in such a short period of time. But what I remember about the end of that game is that the Chiefs won for a call that was technically right, but that everyone said, like, there's a time and a place. They flagged something that didn't impact the play. So Kadarius Toney stepping over the line, he's not the one that caught the ball. It's not like he had a head start. It's not like he was pulling at somebody who could have caught the ball. Like, while technically it's true that he was not doing what he was supposed to, whatever the words are.
Offsides, not standing where he should be.
It didn't impact the play. So in a play that decided the course of the game, decided who won, that it was like technically right, but an inappropriate use. So if Patrick Mahomes is throwing a fit about that type of call,
did the Super Bowl even count? I know.
Are you giving back your Super Bowl?
Right? And I think that's why he's now apologizing for being unruly because he's realizing that he can't have it both ways.
Yeah, definitely. And if when he was celebrating his Super Bowl win, if the opposing quarterback came up to him and was like, that was bullshit, like you shouldn't have won, he would have, I'm sure, thought that was childlike.
Yeah, I think we're learning a lot about him, about how he handles these situations and his overall character, and I'm not impressed.
Yeah, like it's easy to come off like a good guy when you're always winning and when everything goes your way.
Yeah.
But when things don't go your way,
you still have to be the better person.
Yeah. So room for improvement off the field there, Patty.
Note taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of one of the Kelce brothers, our next top story is about Travis's brother, Jason Kelce, and some rare bad press.
Okay, so this one starts week 12, a few weeks ago when the Eagles played the Bills. They did their tush push, which, Kelly, can you explain what this is, what the controversy, people keep talking about it?
The tush push. Yes, it's everywhere in the news. So from a football standpoint, it is part of a quarterback sneak, which is when the quarterback is running the ball. Usually when they're trying to get like 1 yard, there'll be two players behind the quarterback pushing him over the first yard line. And it seems to work for the Eagles and no other team. And I can't fully wrap my head around this because the quarterback sneak has been a thing forever, but the tush push itself is strictly an Eagles.
It's like a variation
of a quarterback sneak where they're actually pushing the quarterback to gain yards. And I think it's because Jalen Hurts has some pretty thick thighs. It's why they can pull it off well, because no other team can do it successfully, which is interesting. But yeah, teams are upset by it. There's rumors about them banning it. I think because the way that they're pushing each other is dangerous to the opposing team.
Okay.
Which is where this fight is kind of going.
Yeah, this leads us right into the beef of the week.
We love some good beef.
Sure do, especially when it's about people's tushes. So after that week 12 game between the Eagles and the Bills, they pushed the tush. In that week, Jason Kelce, who we love, not taking sides here, but you know, we'll see where we land at the end. But going into this rivalry, we started on Team Jason.
You don't hear anyone fighting with Jason typically.
No,
so
he just
our ears perked up.
Definitely. So he said that a Bills player, Jordan Phillips, jumped through the line early and hit his teammate Cam Jurgens in a quote unquote bullshit play. He said Jordan Phillips should have been fined. It should have been a personal foul. And he thinks Phillips intentionally tried to hurt his teammate. So obviously Jordan Phillips retaliated in an interview later in the week. He said about Jason Phillips, he's a well-respected guy around the league for whatever reason. Oh, it's shady. I love it. Now he suddenly has a voice because he's on his brother's podcast and whatnot. So he thinks he can use it. But the way he uses his voice, it doesn't make any sense.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Editor's note. It's a joint podcast.
Yeah, brothers podcast.
Between Travis and Jason. He said, you look at the tush push, he, referring to Kelce, dives at somebody's knees every play and tries to roll them up. So for him to speak on somebody being dirty, I don't think he has any right or any means to call for a fine when he does a whole bunch of stuff. I think that's kind of crazy for him to even mention that. So this is the part that I do agree with. He said, I'm 335 pounds. How am I going to stop regardless? How do I know the ball wasn't going? You can dish it out, obviously, but can't take it. That's just soft.
Ooh.
But so I guess what Jason was upset about is that Jordan Phillips slammed into the other guy. But what Phillips is saying is like,
he can't, he's got the momentum.
Object in motion stays in motion.
He's
I'm
not
a big guy.
Slowing down. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
to me, it reads a little bit like you can dish it, but you can't take it. And that's just soft to Jason.
Yeah.
But I hope they keep
beefing. And Jason usually doesn't say much that's controversial, so he must have felt pretty heated. Yeah, heated about this tackle.
I feel like to say to call somebody out by name and be like he should have been fined. That
I think he's going after his money.
Yeah, that someone's gonna like have a bone to pick.
Yeah,
with that, I think I might be on this Bills guy's side. I don't know enough about the technical. I watched the play.
Yeah, I think we're all over the tush push. So we're all on the Bills side here.
I watched a video of the play to try to see if I could figure out what they're talking about. it's a little lost on me. I don't really know the technicalities of what's going on, but I agree that just because the play has ended, if this man has started going, he's going to keep going. So
yeah.
The last thing I have to say about this, it's not relevant at all, but Cam Jurgens, the teammate who Jason Kelce thought was intentionally being harmed, he has his own line of beef jerky that he calls, what is it called? Hold on, wait, let me get it right.
Wait, his name is Jurgens.
His name is Jurgens, and the jerky is called beef jerky.
Beef jerky. You kind of got to do that, I guess.
So
it fits perfectly in our beef segment.
Yes.
Bring on the beef.
This is a beef jerky segment. And in other news, we have the opposite of beef. We have some Italian cured meats.
We got some cutlets, some salami,
some meatballs.
Meatballs.
We have a lot of love in the New York, New Jersey area with the Giants' third string backup quarterback taking the tri-state area by storm with his family, Tommy DeVito. Welcome to the Tea Huddle, Tommy. We've talked about him before, but like the love for him is growing.
Tommy DeVito, he's everything we've wanted and more.
My favorite thing about Tommy DeVito is that every new thing we learn about him, like, okay, so you see this guy's name, you see what he looks like, you see his chain, you know he lives with his mom, he's 20 minutes away from the field, whatever. Yeah. Every new thing we've learned about him feels like we wrote it. I'm sure everybody has seen his agent who went viral.
We have to talk about the agent.
My favorite tweet was, it looks like somebody put into an AI generator all the information we have about Tommy DeVito, like show us his agent. And this guy is who they popped out.
Okay, I thought this guy was like made up, like a fake, his cousin Vinny or something, who's like his quote unquote agent, just like in the family. But no, he's a real person. He's a real agent. He has a website.
He's wearing a fedora on the field. He did, right? He's on the phone, and the memes about who he's on the phone with Jersey Mike's. He's on the phone. There's nobody on the other end of the phone. He's just like,
oh yeah, no, I think he's definitely leaning. I mean, he's a real agent, but I think he's definitely leaning into the theme. I think everyone on his PR team is really leaning into the Italian theme because it's just it's
getting so much love.
Good, yeah.
The agent's name is Sean Stellato. I went in earlier today to a deep rabbit hole of this man's Twitter going back to maybe 2019, just scrolling. And he has been this through and through. Like his outfits look like Pauly D from the Jersey Shore. The big sunglasses, like he's popping his collar.
Selected by Tom. Yeah.
It's amazing. It just, you can't get enough. His whole family, everyone's kissing on the cheek.
They're kissing him. That's when I was like, okay, this is definitely his cousin Vinny. And then I'm like, wait, what?
No, they're like, you're the agent,
part
of
the family.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I saw that they're all tailgating with like this great Italian spread.
One of them for sure has to own an Italian restaurant in the area. They gave out 300 chicken cutlets to just people who were tailgating. They were just like, anybody want a sandwich? Come by.
His mom's working overtime.
He did say his mom makes the best chicken cutlet.
I know.
It's on my bucket list to have a Mama DeVito chicken cutlet sandwich.
Yeah, let's head to Jersey.
But he's living his best life. There are videos of him like as like guest bartender out at local New Jersey clubs. He's just, he's like,
and he's playing well.
Well, also that.
Like the Giants won 3 games in a row. He's playing really well.
So he's played now 4 games. Is
4
that right?
games, yeah.
The first game, they wouldn't even let him throw the ball. They made him just
a little nervous. He's tiny.
And now he's crushing.
He looks good.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito.
He's got confidence.
He's got his whole family there. I mean, that has to help.
His family is bigger than, and is a bigger group than like if I corralled up every human I've ever met in my entire life.
I know, it's the Italian way.
Yeah.
But they're definitely fishing for like a reality TV show from this, which they absolutely deserve.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. And they like yell at each other too. Like it's not all just like meatballs and happiness on this reality show. Like there's going to be some good drama.
There's some kissing, there's some fighting.
I mean, mostly what I'm rooting for is for your week 3 predictions to be accurate. But if that can't be true, Tommy DeVito to take the Giants to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, but
He's
maybe
gonna have the
next year.
wildest foam party New Jersey's ever seen when he gets home from that Vegas trip.
On the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to make this happen one of these years.
I got to be invited to that party. I saw a clip. He won his high school New Jersey State championship at Giant Stadium.
Aww.
So I'm sure when he's 18 years old, he thought it was just the coolest thing ever that he got to play at MetLife on the field that the Giants play on. And now he is the Giants.
He is the Giants. He is their starting quarterback.
Yeah, it's great.
And crushing it.
Definitely. My other favorite tweet, meme, whatever it was that I saw this week is that every football team should have a third string backup quarterback who's like an extreme caricature of whatever the local stereotype of that area is.
My God.
So how he's just like epitomizes extreme exaggerated New Jersey. Like,
wow.
We need one of those.
I need one of those in Boston. Some
Yeah.
Ben Affleck type, Dunkin' Donut.
I sort of feel like Kirk Cousins is that of Minnesota already.
He is.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousin. Yeah, he is Minnesota.
But he's first string, just injured. Anyway, I want...
He's technically, I guess, third now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've got two. We need all the rest of them.
Yeah, we're going to go do some digging on all the other third string quarterbacks out there.
Oh, but in the meantime, give us more DeVito.
And it looks like we have another arrest on our hands. It's time for
Step out of the car. Step out of the car, Wes Phillips. Step out of the car.
Wes Phillips, the offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings.
We're getting a coach this week.
A coach. He's up
Exciting.
to no good. He got a DUI during his bye week. He still traveled to Vegas for week 14. Wes Phillips, he's the son of former NFL coach Wade Phillips and the grandson of another former head coach, Bum Phillips. So I feel like they're being a little lenient on him here because
he's an NFL coaching Nepo baby.
Yeah, he's a Nepo baby
It
who
knows no
probably
bounds.
should be getting in more trouble than he is.
It kind of seems that way. So he was stopped by Minnesota State Patrol at 9:45 p.m. last Friday night. He showed signs of impairment, and after a breathalyzer, it showed his blood alcohol content was 0.10, which is over the 0.08 legal limit. He was released at 1:26 a.m. that morning after posting a $300 bond, and then the next morning got on a flight with his team and flew to Vegas for the game. He has an initial court appearance scheduled for December 21st.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Nothing gets you in the holiday spirit like a scheduled court appearance.
Yeah, I'm just shocked that he was still able to travel.
Travel, coach, performed his
'cause I can see,
duties as normal.
When you have all these players looking up to you, how do they respect you after that?
Definitely. Like, you're the one who should be telling
Yeah,
them not
I hope
to
he
do
had
that.
like a big apology for
So
everybody.
Tuesday, he did make a statement. He said, I mean, it's sort of a half-ass, but he said things like this happen. When they happen, there can be some times when you feel like crawling into a hole. But the only way I know how to do it is to face it one day at a time, go back to work and do everything I can do, not make it right, but learn from it and grow. Okay, I take it back, actually. That's pretty good. That's sort of what, I mean, like, that's the right thing to say, I guess.
If you're able to go back to work, it's nice.
Yeah. Some people can't, like, it must have been 8 hours between when he got out of booking and got on the team flight.
He must have not felt that great.
Definitely. Or he was still a little tipsy. Might have helped it all go a little smoother. I don't know. But this is rare. It's very not rare for players to be arrested, particularly with driving. These guys just can't call an Uber.
I know.
But not a coach.
Yeah, I've never heard of a coach getting a DUI
in the middle of a season, the night before.
Right before the game.
Yeah. Oh, well, just kidding. Actually, I take it back. So it was Friday night. It was Saturday at 1:36 he was released. So it was a day later. It wasn't just hours later. I retract my former statement.
Wasn't 1 a.m.
It wasn't 1 a.m. Sunday. It was 1 a.m. Saturday. Okay, so he slept it off, took a shower, changed his clothes, and then got on the flight. Still scandalous. My prediction is like this is where it ends, that there's no repercussions, nothing happens.
Nepo coach, as we have said.
Yeah, but we'll see if maybe something comes out after his court date. My guess is he just like pays a minimal fine and this goes away. But if something different happens, you know where to hear it.
Yep.
Here at the Tea
We'll
Hut.
find out.
We still have a lot to cover. We not only missed 2 weeks of football, we missed 2 weeks of fashions. So we have the return of a Tea Huddle favorite segment, Drip, Drip, Drip.
I love this segment. The past few weeks have been especially drippy. Let's
much drip.
start with a couple from week 13.
Mm-hmm.
I think my personal favorite is DK Metcalf with a leather kilt on.
There was a lot of leather. There's been a lot of leather continuing on into this week. Also from last week, the full leather fit on Deebo Samuels from the 49ers. It's giving like Matrix meets punk.
Meets New York City.
Yeah, like maybe a little like S&M vibes. Is that weird to say? Yeah, a little Matrix meets Dominatrix.
The necklace is really something. The
Yeah.
little chain.
I just would love to know about them putting these outfits together, because clearly they make choices. This is not like, oh, this will be comfortable for me to travel in. This is, I want my photo to be taken when I walk from the car to the stadium, and this is what I want people to.
Well, Metcalf is like comfort up top,
Yeah.
party on the bottom.
Yeah, and the boots too.
And I mean, it must be working. Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, they're crushing it right now. Metcalf was just the fastest guy in the NFL.
Ooh, and
Must be that leather. It's really
yeah, and he's dating a fashion icon in her own right, Normani, formerly of Fifth Harmony pop star.
Oh,
So I'm sure she gets outfit approval.
yeah, maybe she's chiming in with the kilt.
Another leather look. This one is from this week. Stefan Diggs, also he's out there killing it. He's in like, I would call it a leather schoolboy outfit. It sort of looks like.
Yeah, he has like, are they like leather Bermuda shorts?
Yeah. Or
I don't really like those. but
no, they're not for everyone. He sort of pulls it off, I guess. And then the bag.
The bag. It's like a laundry basket.
Yeah, so it's. I don't know exactly what the vision is in the whole look, but I sort of like it. There's
the color.
there's a
contrast.
confidence.
We can't talk about Stephon Diggs' game day outfit without talking about his travel outfit, because I want to be wrapped in this pink furry wardrobe.
Yeah, he looks cozy
He's
for travel.
really channeling his inner Barbie,
Yeah,
and I love it.
me too. Comfy, chic,
He goes from this to a leather outfit.
to the leather schoolboy. Versatility.
He can do it all.
My favorite of this past week was Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, who showed up in sparkly bell bottoms. It's like a 70s retro fit. I think this bright blue bag he's carrying is Hermes. So a costly outfit.
OBJ never disappoints. He's
no.
always the best dressed.
Very drippy. I think he's wearing Louis Vuitton shoes, a fur coat, his Rams Super Bowl ring, which I think we saw a clip at the same time that he loves to tell people in the locker room that he has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
He's like, as someone who has a Super Bowl ring, they're like, we know. So he had to wear it just in case maybe somebody forgot.
Don't lose that.
I love the look. He looks like I'm going to crush it on the field and then do a little disco clubbing after.
I love anything disco like. So nice work, OBJ.
On Sunday, the day of the Chiefs game, it was the 3-year anniversary of Evermore, Taylor Swift's 9th studio album.
Ooh.
And Evermore vibes are like earthy, woodsy, flannel, corduroy vibes. And Travis Kelce walks into the game giving Evermore.
Yeah, and this is like the third time that he has worn outfits potentially inspired by her
Yes.
albums, and I feel like at this point, like, it has to be true.
Definitely. And she is known, among many other things, for like Easter eggs and for everything having hidden meaning. Everything she does is calculated and with intention, and he was dressing for Evermore's anniversary, and I won't be convinced otherwise.
Even though I liked the joke that he looks like is it Jackson from Gilmore Girls? 'Cause I love that show. It is the
Definitely.
same look.
Yeah.
But he kept the outfit on all pregame, postgame. They went to their Christmas party. We're gonna
They
Have to mention it.
They went out to a party
after the game, which is kind of wild after the loss, but
yeah, he seemed like he was in good spirits. She took the Chiefs sweater off, but she was wearing the same rest of the
so
outfit.
they went straight there.
Yeah.
Evermore themed.
Mm-hmm. She was giving Reputation. He was okay. Sorry. Anyway, back to our.
Next up, we have Brock Purdy, who is also rocking the Coles theme this season.
He's following in Kirk Cousins' footsteps as being just like a wholesome, bland quarterback.
Yeah, he is pretty much all those things. But we have to throw in a Coles reference
definitely,
here.
Definitely the unofficial sponsor of your favorite.
Because Kurt can't
vanilla.
play, someone else has to wear Coles.
Definitely.
Or else they're gonna go out of business again.
A couple more we have to mention. Lawrence Guy on the Patriots. He wearing not just a Christmas sweater, a Christmas Story leg lamp Christmas sweater. I liked that one.
Loved it. Very festive.
Tommy DeVito, who we've already covered how much we love him, is wearing a fuchsia tie-dye, like fluffy jacket. Me too.
It's very like comfortable yet psychedelic.
Fly.
Yeah.
We saw a tweet that said this guy would definitely get strangled 3 episodes into The Sopranos.
Probably true.
And then star of the show, week after week, showing everybody else out, is linebacker from the Browns, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who shows up in traditional Ghanaian wardrobe.
He's definitely the winner. He has been consistent in his wardrobe. It's so perfect. It's beautiful, very traditional.
This week, he looks like he sort of incorporated some more modern elements, but still repping Ghana as he does every week. I love it. It must be like effort in his week to plan these outfits, but it's paying off because he looks amazing.
I like the one where he has the elephant with the chain necklace with the elephants on it.
In the full black.
Oh, yeah, the full black. A lot of gold. He's got the hat on.
It's just so good.
The shoulder showing.
Matching accessories every week. This purple.
The purple. I know. Too bad he doesn't play for the Vikings.
Yes, it would be very on brand. What team did I say he plays for? The Browns. No, the Browns don't have good colors. He could be doing so much more with
the purple one. His hat, has Africa on it.
Oh yeah.
Jeremiah wins. He wins the drip.
He's the drippiest man of the week.
And that brings us to the final goss.
Final goss.
We have to start the final goss just very briefly talking about Tom Brady and Irina Shayk, because they were spotted together again, and we haven't talked about them since episode 1.
Way back.
And I can't believe they've rekindled their romance, potentially.
We heard they were done for. And then in Miami this past weekend for Art Basel, he was seen pulling up and her getting into his car. TMZ caught them. So I was like, oh my God, they're back together. It's official. But then later that night, he was seen at some billionaire investment guy's party in Miami with Leonardo DiCaprio and was apparently spending a lot of time with a tiny blonde. That's not my words. That's what the post said.
So
and
maybe they're just friends, but...
Yeah. He was seen walking the blonde woman out of the party, but they exited separately.
Okay.
Which could mean that it was a decoy or...
Yeah, hoping we find out more about Tom and Irina this upcoming week.
Definitely.
But that's not our main goss this week. We have something even juicier.
Definitely. This is my favorite story of the week. It's pretty good. The Jaguars filed a lawsuit against a former employee, Amit Patel. He was the manager of financial planning and analysis, who allegedly stole more than $22 million from the organization.
That's insane.
Between September 2019 and February 23, when he was finally fired by the team.
Oh my God. The Jags, they can't put a team together. They can't put the back office together.
A disaster. He used the money to fund online gambling, pay for private travel and accommodation for himself and friends, as well as sporting tickets, acquire a new Tesla car, Nissan pickup truck, purchase cryptocurrency, buy a property in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, and bought a Patek Philippe Nautilus. I don't know how you say it. Some fancy watch that costs over $95,000. He funded all of that.
That is insane. $22 million.
Without being noticed.
For, how many years is
4
that?
years.
4 years? That's insane.
It's giving George Santos vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Using fraudulent funds to fund just like
your lifestyle.
Lavish nonsense.
Yeah, Jack's going to get it together. They need some better internal controls. Counting joke there. Anybody know? Anyone out there?
I don't know, but I like it. Apparently he did this via the team's virtual credit card, VCC, system, stealing millions of dollars over the 4-year period. He was the sole administrator of the VCC system for the Jaguars. So they were like, you're in charge of this system. And he was like, okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Now I have $22 million.
This is my own credit card.
Yes.
Yeah. No one's checking.
Yes. It says that to hide his fraudulent VCC transactions, he identified legitimate reoccurring transactions such as catering, airfare, hotel charges, and then duplicated those transactions or like changed the month that they were being filed or inflated them. So it took them a while to realize. Wow. But he went down in flames because the court docs have been filed.
I can't believe it took them that long to figure it out. I'm just like,
I hope the watch was worth it. I hear there are really good clocks in prison. So I mean, yeah, I hope he had the best 4 years of his life because I'm sure they're taking all of the money back, all of the material items, everything, the Nissan pickup truck. It's impressive.
It is impressive. I mean, it just goes to show you that.
What does it go to show you?
The NFL has no business in finance.
Yeah, that is what it goes to show you. And that Amit Patel went out in a blaze of glory. It said that originally the court docs just said it had him being charged by like Organization A. Everything was anonymous, but that the Jaguars admitted, like came forward and said, this person did work for us. We did fire him. He did steal from us. Wow. So all the information was public before they knew who the organization was. But spoiler alert, it was the Jags. Think of what else they could have done with $22 million.
I know. All
paid
the players
for better players
right now, and coaching and yikes.
Better catering. Well, we will keep an eye on this fraudulent drama, more arrival outfits, more DUIs.
Hopefully not.
And the upcoming playoff picture. Is that what you say? Playoff picture?
It's going to be great. And tune in next week for our special holiday episode.
Ooh, it's going to be so fun. But until then,
stay juicy.